Welcome to Sydney, Australia, the land down under. On this episode of One Guy, One World, Two Wheels, we're going to go on a ride along with an Aboriginal motorcycle club known as an Indigenous Mob. Later, we're going to go check out the Rising Sun Motorcycle Workshop and Cafe. So come along, join the ride.
Hi, so good afternoon. We have today with us Marcus, Bruno, which is also a first name. So people call you Bruno or Marcus?
They call me, well, when I'm on the set, they call me Bruno because with the first movie I was working on called Lost in the Sun with my current director,
They preferred Bruno.
there was another Marcus there. He was before me. His name was Marcus Sams. So when everybody would say, Marcus, we'd both turn around like, what? So they just said, all right, we're going to call you Bruno. I said, okay, that's fine.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that's funny. I was looking for you on LinkedIn and I thought your first name was Bruno. So I typed Bruno and I said, but where is he? And finally I found you. For some reason, I thought Bruno was your first name. In any event, Bruno accepted to be here today. And he's a video editor. So since I never had a video editor interviewed here, it's going to be interesting. So I am not a video editor. And although I sometimes cut the ends, that's it. And I add maybe sometime a title. That's about as far as I go. So Bruno, tell me first, how did you get into editing?
Well-
Video editing.
well, it's a funny story because when I was younger, I was watching a TV show on HBO, I think, and I was actually listening to music at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes people listen to watch, and I saw the images were kind of coordinated with the music, and I said, wow, how can I recreate that? I'd love to show somebody else this.
Yeah.
This is back when we had VCRs.
You
so-
look more like a musician than an editor.
Yeah, so I've always been into music, and I made my own music video with these
Yeah.
two VCRs,
Yeah.
and then I showed a couple of friends. They thought it was really great, and I said, wow, I might have a talent for this. So I went to the Academy of Art,
And you learned.
Yeah, I got my degree and graduated in 2000 from the Academy of Art.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So in 2000, did you learn that on what equipment? Because everything is changing nowadays.
Yeah. That time it was Avid was
Avid.
the popular one there. The Final Cut was just being instituted, I think, in the next semester right after I left. Mm-hmm. But I did
Yeah.
wind up and use Final Cut in the end.
Oh yeah, because here they use Final Cut,
Yeah.
and I guess it's similar. And then Adobe Premiere.
Yeah, Premiere is is my go-to.
You like it?
I do like Premiere a lot better. I've used both. They both have their advantages.
Yeah.
Final
Easier
Cut.
to use, maybe.
Premiere, it really depends. I think Premiere is more. It's more in tune with the older Final Cut Pro, like 6 and 7, because the 10 they went to the magnetic timeline, and it's kind of a little bit strange to get a grip on that.
Yeah.
Because there's not tracks to drop your timelines into, so it's a little confusing. But
I, a person here who was teaching editing, I say, okay, can you show me Final Cut Pro? And he spent a couple sessions with me, but it was not my cup of tea because
Yeah.
there's so much to learn.
yeah,
It's a lot. I took the class here though. It was like a 2-3 hour workshop.
yeah.
But the thing is, if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
That's exactly what happened to me with Avid. I did not use
Use
Avid
it.
as much anymore. I got kind of inducted into Premiere and Final Cut and kind of lost all my Avid skills. But
So Premiere and Final Cut, you learn on your own.
yeah. I did actually. Yeah. I've learned it on my own. I was thinking I have come here to take classes, but not editing classes. So,
Actually, the Apple Store offers the Final Cut class, and I took it.
yes. Oh.
Yeah, because for people who want to go a little bit the level up from iMovie.
Yeah, oh god, iMovie it's pretty funny. I have much trouble in iMovie than Final Cut.
Really,
I
it's
don't
easier.
know why. I don't know why iMovie, I just cannot seem to figure it out. And it's supposed to be easier, and I just cannot figure it out. It just
Oh,
confounds
yeah.
me.
It's for the masses, they say, but Final Cut, first of all, takes about 50 gig on your laptop. It's a huge program.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had it for a while, then I finally got rid of it when I changed computer. But anyway, to go back to you, so you're an editor. Do you kind of work with different projects and you have to adapt, or you prefer certain kind of projects like a movie?
No, I pretty much am okay with working on anything really. I don't have a preference for any type of thing.
So you can do anything.
Yeah, I wanted to go into music videos. That was kind of what I really wanted to edit because that's kind of how I started
You like
out.
music?
But I never quite got into any field, any particular situation where I could just do that. I pretty much wound up working on commercials and features and short films.
Yeah, because when I see a movie, it always starts with a music video kind of thing. Because with the credits, there's music.
That's right. Yeah.
So, tell me, who picks the music? The editor or somebody else?
It's the probably it's between the director and the producer.
Really?
Yeah, because the executive producer is the one that puts in all the money for the project, and
so he picks the music.
It's kind of varies. It would be one of those three: the executive producer.
Do you advise on the music?
I have advised music. Yes, for a good example is I have a friend that does a travel show, and because we were in a motorcycle club together, and we've gone around the world and interviewing motorcycle clubs, and part of his thing is music, and I said, he's getting music off of the iMovie, and I'm like, you gotta get better music than that. So we signed up with a music subscription site, and turned him on to a bunch of good music. So yeah, music makes it, it really sets the mood. And
I mean, if you cannot pick the music at your job, you can always produce your own music video at home. Unless you don't have all the software at home, but you probably do have it at home.
I have a little bit at home. Yeah, I have microphones and things that are pro tools, which I'm not an expert in, but I know how to use a little bit.
Really? So, but Premiere, you can buy it online.
Yeah, they have a monthly subscription to Adobe.
I subscribed to it when I took a class, but then if you don't use it, like you said, it's better to stop the subscription.
Yes.
But if it's in your profession, I suppose you would keep it.
Yeah, it's been very helpful to have that access to all of the programs, the whole Adobe suite. I mean, I only know a few of them because, as you said, each one of those programs is crazy hard.
Your company pays for the subscription. I see. Yeah. So your company contracts with some commercials, people who produce commercials?
Yeah, we usually most of our business has been word of mouth. We've just gotten a web website up in the last like five or 6 months to actually get more of our presence out there. But most of our work has been through word of mouth.
Do you put your work out on social media like Facebook and Twitter, and you sometimes put some of that work on LinkedIn?
Yeah, mostly on Facebook and Twitter, I think. I'm not really a part of that. We have a whole social media guy that does everything. Yeah, that he does all that.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of do the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Okay. But on LinkedIn, you put a sample, maybe.
Yeah, I think I might have put a sample or two. I cannot remember at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did something.
Yeah. So did you say 2010? So you've been an editor for almost 19 years?
Yes, when I got my degree, but before that, I was actually in junior college at a TV studio, kind of like this. They were building it, and I was actually my initial track was going to be a video journalist.
Really? You can still do that too.
Oh yeah, I can still do that too. Yeah, but I got involved in the TV studio, and they had an editing suite, and that's kind of
and they offered a job that's paid.
Yeah, so I decided, all right, I'll do this for a while.
Yeah, I know, because in San Francisco, even though we are really we have 3 stations, and we have a small CNN office and a small Bloomberg office, there aren't that many jobs for editors. You got to go down LA for that. So going to LA was not your cup of tea?
No, I just didn't think I had a tough enough skin to make it down in Los Angeles.
It's a different kind of crowd there.
Yeah, I mean, I've met a lot of good people up here through the school. I mean, it's a small community, but I've met people, and we've all kind of banded together. As a matter of fact, there's It's called the Bay Area Film Mixer, which is quarterly. And my friend, my producer and director,
You put it together?
he puts it together, and I've been going to that for six years now. So I've met a
Wow,
lot of
you
people
network?
there. Yeah, networked, and just like I said, working with him, and now I've come on full on as a partner in the Crux Jinx company. So
That's awesome because the business is booming. Everybody is into video now.
yeah,
And
it's a
even
good time.
Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg said photo is going to be replaced by videos.
Yeah, it's become a golden age of content.
For
Everybody's
videos.
channels. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean Apple and all these other Hulu, and everybody's always looking for things. So
Yeah. So you're going to have work like left and right, and you wouldn't know what to do with it.
that's the plan and the hope. Yeah.
Yeah. So if a company wants to use your skills, then they would have to go through your
The
company.
Crux Jinx. Yes.
Yeah, and then if they like your work, then they go through Crux
Yeah,
Jinx.
yeah, we have some videos on there of what we've done, and not a lot yet because a lot of stuff that we did was a little bit dated, but we're kind of upgrading that slowly but surely.
That's nice. That's nice. So once the video is done, you own any right to it, or it belongs 100% to the client?
It belongs to the client, but we have asked the client if we could use, from time to time, we ask the client, can we use some of your videos for our promotion?
Okay, and they say yes.
Yeah, usually they
Because
say
it's
yes.
a promo also for them in some way.
Yes, exactly.
Ah,
Exactly.
okay, so double benefit.
Yeah.
Mutual
yeah.
benefit.
Mutual benefits, absolutely.
Yeah, that's good if you can work it out.
Yeah.
No, because here, like maybe 30 years ago, Viacom owned the copyright of the shows. And then we had hearings and everything, and they gave the producers like me the copyright. So that means I can use the video and put it on my own website.
That's
Without,
nice.
yeah, so things change.
Yeah, I remember Viacom. Wow, it was a long time ago.
And before Viacom, Viacom, but there was another company. But anyway, it was 3 acquisition over the
Yeah.
years, and now it's I don't know what it's called now.
I don't know either.
Well, anyway, it's a new company now. Anyway, over the years, now we do retain the copyright. So even though when you have a project, I'll call you Marcus, do you have more than one editor?
It depends on the size of the project, really.
Oh, now it's Comcast. Sorry, I forgot.
Oh,
now
yeah,
it's Comcast.
Comcast,
Are you
yeah.
familiar with Comcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought so. but I
So
thought
they
there was another one.
acquired Viacom. Okay. So
Yeah.
going back to you, are you the sole editor of each piece?
Currently, I am.
Okay.
Like I said, we're working on our second feature.
Yeah.
When that comes about, we'll probably have to have multiple editors on that because it's probably going
If
to be
it's a bigger
timeline.
project?
Yeah. We usually have multiple editors on that. It's just too much work for one person. We basically break it up. Say, okay, you do,
Part
scene. Yeah, you do the first quarter or third or whatever, and I'll do this part, and then we'll all just stitch it together and try and get it that
Oh,
way.
especially if it's a documentary, right?
Yes. Yep.
It's a lot of work to
a lot
put
of
all the
work.
pieces together.
Yeah, I was
And
actually
if-
on a documentary with just four years, I think. We were on a documentary, working on a documentary for a band.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And if it is a movie, then it's even more work.
Yeah, because now you have to deal with sound effects and special effects and all that type of thing. That on a documentary, it's pretty much you're just shooting and capturing natural sound and
Yeah.
things of that effect. And
That's true. It's much more complicated in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And did they go over through all of this at the academy?
yeah, I think they, the Academy, they kind of make you take a series of classes. Like they say they have they call it a track. So I'm on the
Yeah.
editing track, but I still
Yeah.
have to take an acting class. So I have to take a lighting class and a color class and things like that effect. So it wasn't just all editing all the time.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I mean, I got to learn different parts of the
industry?
different parts of the industry and see how things work. And it was kind of a nice insight to that. So when I'm editing, I can maybe notice things I may not have noticed.
So you were not in the motion picture department? at the academy, they have a motion picture department where you learn how to make movies.
Right. I was just a student there.
You were on that department?
I was, yeah. Well, I guess because my degree was actually film, television, and
Photography?
maybe it's just film and television.
Oh, so you took the whole program?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So, no, because I was in a totally different department. I was in the photography one.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but anyway, so motion picture encompass editing.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, I think that was
so
one of the,
technically you can produce a movie on your own now.
Now I can, yeah. I mean, I'm not, haven't really tried to direct anything. I've written a couple of short films, and I've been on a set for them, but I have not done any direction. I think the directing is the only thing that I have not really done. I've done camera, I've done sound, post-production, so.
Oh yeah, I worked with some awesome directors when we were at the Folsom Street studio, because they had like a huge studio with 3 live man cameramen.
Oh, wow.
And we had the director up there with the switcher and the CG. And it was like a crew of 8 people. But here, because we moved here, is either the Flash studio or the large room for bands, or, next to here. So we are in a totally different setting here because they invented this thing, which is self-switching.
Yeah.
No, I mean, progress is good because you don't have to worry about calling the camera people.
Right.
But on the other hand, the shows that I produced like a very long time ago look totally different because then they take different shots because the human are involved, not machines.
Right. Yeah, I remember those good old days.
Yeah, do you remember the good old days when you had the cameraman? You probably went to one of those studios.
Yeah, I've seen those before. Yeah.
With someone telling the cameraman to switch
Yeah.
or to move. And
Yeah, the guy on the board like this, he has a board, and the director's saying, take camera 2, and there's little monitors up there to see what the cameramen are
So
doing.
those are totally outdated now.
Yeah.
Because even if you go to commercial station like Channel 4, it's robots. It's 3 cameras. There's nobody behind.
Yeah.
It's totally robotic.
Yeah,
I mean,
technology.
it's true that, the Andrew Yang and all that, he said more and more technology is replacing human beings. Yeah. So it's regrettable because I like the human touch.
Exactly.
I like when the director up there say, go close on Aline's face, or go to, to the guest now. And it was such a human experience when you watched it.
Yep.
Now, when you watch it, of course, I am the switcher, but it's my only input. I mean, I'm the one who decides.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So with editing, is it getting automated now?
Well, I would say that they're making things, every time that Premiere or these programs seem to upgrade, they seem to be making things easier instead of having to do 3 steps, say a year ago. Now they've combined those. They programmed it somehow to recognize, okay, this used to take 3 steps, just press this button now, it does it in 1 step. So in that aspect, things
Oh,
are
they
getting a little bit-
simplified the software?
Yeah, they're making things a little bit simpler and a little better. For instance, I remember maybe 5 years ago, say, that you really had to have another program to do like color correction.
Yeah.
And but Premiere has integrated a really good coloring system into their software now, which is really nice.
Oh, you can make it lighter or darker.
Yeah, you can actually change like the color of the person's shirt, and
Really?
I don't think you could do that a couple of versions ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
Even
things that effect.
iPhone now, you can have all these filters.
Yeah. So
I mean, we're moving along real fast. Especially the new iPhone 11 has so many features.
Oh God, I saw on the iPhone 6.
Yeah, I have the 8, but the new one is like get super wide angles. I don't know if you saw the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was not in the 8 so I'd never experienced it. I was frustrated when I used the 8 that I couldn't go wider. Now they responded to that need.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Anyway, they have so many classes. I took Friday yesterday, photography class at the Apple Store. it's so many things that I was not even aware of on my phone. So,
Wow. I need to
so
maybe look
maybe
into
as an
that.
editor, you might want to attend, because you might not be aware that all these features are existent.
Yeah, that would be nice because sometimes we are out on the road, especially with this travel show, and I take a picture on my iPhone and wind up using it in the video, but it's not the best quality.
Yeah,
But it was a
because
good shot that I happened to get, so
yeah, and now you have the editing on the phone itself.
that's crazy.
Isn't that something? You can become an iPhone editor
Yeah,
if you learn all the features, right?
yeah, I think there have been some things that have been shot on the iPhone that have. I think I thought there was some really professional.
Editing.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I've seen some pretty incredible things done on the iPhone. Which
So
I did not
actually, they
think was
have three
possible.
classes. So you learn how the features of the photography with the iPhone. And they show you also the live one where you take a video and then you can take frames. And then they teach you how to take the best photography. And then they have a
Wow.
third one. But I didn't know all this existed.
Yeah,
If someone doesn't point things out to you, then you're not even aware they exist.
yeah, yeah. They're not gonna. Yeah, they don't give you a little
People
booklet
buy
with
the
that.
phone, they think they just take one and then they don't even go close or
Yeah,
closer. Actually, you can go up to very close. Yeah.
very
So
good.
anyway, so as an editor, you might want to see iPhone editing. It's funny. It's interesting. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
hey, anything that helped me, that'd be great.
Yeah, especially if they send you on the road to take pictures.
Yeah, because I'm not a cameraman by trade, but like I said, I've gotten some good pictures, and we've wound up using them in the video. So
Yeah,
that'd be
that's
great.
awesome. Yeah, I occasionally use my own pictures in my videos. Yeah. So, can you, since you used both Premiere and Avid, you said?
Final Cut, I've used
Oh,
Final Cut
Final
before. Yeah.
Cut. I know you. I mean, who do you say one is easier than the other?
Well, I think they both have different advantages. For instance, the Final Cut has a lot of built-in effects and
Yeah.
titling things to work with.
Yeah, as
Premiere,
opposed to
not so much. Yeah, Premiere pretty much. They've gotten better. They've instituted some graphics that have like news type lower thirds and things to that effect, which they didn't
Okay.
really have before. You kind of had to do it all on your own before. But Final Cut has always had just a plethora of just drop-ins, for whatever you needed.
Okay.
And Premiere is kind of starting to get into that now. The library's not that great, but I have been able to use it.
How about if you want to become a music video producer? Like you have an idea of a nice video and you're going to insert the music you personally like. Which one would you use to edit on?
I would probably use Premiere because I'm more. I think there's the
More trained?
more. I think there's more options in terms of color correction, which
Oh.
Apple. Maybe I haven't ventured into the latest Final Cut, so maybe they're
There is some.
yeah maybe their color correction system has gotten better, but I found
You
that
like
Premiere
Premiere because of the colors.
I like it, yeah. It's made it easier for me to work with color correction as opposed to going into a whole nother program just to do color correction, which is a massive.
How about sound effects? Sound.
Yeah,
They are good at that.
Yeah, Apple again, Final Cut had a lot of filters, a lot of really quick, good filters to use.
Really?
Yeah, but Premiere has a lot of third party filters that you can get really, really cheap. So
Or you can switch from one to the other depending
Yeah.
on the piece.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
yeah, but the thing about Premiere too is also they have the whole suite. So if you really wanted to delve into it more, you could go into one of their sound programs and mess around with it in there, and then drop it right back into Premiere, as opposed to the Final Cut. It's all encompassed itself. You'd have to take it to Pro Tools or something to that effect, work with it in there, and then ship it back. Put it back into your. But the Adobe, it's seamless. You can just there's a little blink that says, okay, go to this, okay, put it back in your project instead of having to go out of your project, go back in, all that stuff. So
You switch.
yeah.
I heard that when someone produces a movie, they take several takes, right?
Mhm.
So when it's time to edit, they sit with the editor. Is that true? To tell them which one they want better?
There's usually someone on set that is keeping track of
The length of each?
the length and if they messed up the line or something to that effect.
So they just completely cut it.
Yeah, well, what you'll have? You'll have a list of maybe 10 takes, and maybe they got the first half of take 3 right, and they got the second half of take 6 right, but they messed up, on this. So they only got half of it right on take 3, and they got the other half right on take 6.
I see.
So as long as you have another shot to go to, you can just combine
Put
those.
them both?
Yeah, so you can just go seamlessly right
The,
across.
will the lighting change?
It shouldn't if you're in an environment like
the
this.
same in the same day?
Yeah, if you're outside, that's a different
That's
story.
a different thing.
Yeah.
You got to do the whole shot together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and sometimes clouds come over and it's
Yeah.
all yeah.
So in these, only if it's inside can you play with a different
For
cut.
the most part, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that, like I said, if there's no clouds in the sky and the light is pretty stable,
Yeah.
then you can usually get away with it. But on an environment when it's cloudy or things are going by, cars or something to that effect. If you're in a parking lot and the cars keep changing, and you'll definitely notice that in the background. Hey, that car wasn't there before. Why is a person
Yeah.
was saying this and now he's on the next sentence?
Do you
and,
sometimes participate during the taping of something?
Yeah.
During the videography of part of it?
I'm usually on the sets.
Oh, so you know every part of the production then.
I'm there for most of it. Sometimes I can't make it, and there have been other times where somebody has just given me something. For instance, this travel show, my friend, he went to Australia. I wasn't able to go,
Of
so he
course,
just
okay.
gave me all the footage, and so I had to go through it and see what worked and what didn't.
Did you ask
and,
him which one he likes?
what I have him do, because it's his vision. I tell people this, that this is your vision. I mean, I can do it, but this is just what I think how it should be, and may not be what you think. So what I'd like you to do, he has capability. He's not really professional, but he has a good idea of what he wants. So basically what he does is he produces a 35-minute video edit, and I cut it down to maybe 18 or 20 minutes. And I say, listen, this interview went on way too long, or this part doesn't belong here.
Let's cut it.
Yeah, we'll just cut this. So when
And
I
they
have
say
him
yes?
come over, yeah. So he comes over, and I tell him why.
Yeah.
And he understands. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so you give your feedback, and they appreciate that.
Yeah, but I try and keep it to their vision. I don't want to do my own version of it and then have them say,
It's
"What
not
is this?"
their
Yeah,
vision.
It's not what I like. It's not what I wanted. And okay, well, that's why I want you to kind of show me what you want, and I will kind of tighten it up.
They can also give you the green light as to which music they're gonna put in.
Yeah,
If they give you the green light, that's like
yeah.
very
They
good.
let me choose. Yeah, which
That
I did.
makes you feel like you're more in charge of the project.
Yeah, that actually happened. He was on a London shoot, and there was a video. It wasn't a video, but it was a song I really liked. And
Yeah, and you called him and said, "Can I
called
use
him,
it?"
Yeah, I said, "Hey, listen to this song. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna put this little clip together with this song."
Yeah.
So I sent it to him. And he said, "Oh, that's great. He loved it." And he showed it. Said, "Wow, it's a great song. Where'd you find that?" It's like, I found it on this website that we go to get music from. But he.
Oh, it's a website where you're allowed to use without copywriting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get all the time in trouble with YouTube when I post
Oh God, yeah, me too.
audio, and they send me a note. Your video contains a clip of music that's copyrighted.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it. Sometimes they give the revenue to the producer of the video, or they put the name of the audio under the video so that the producer of the video of the music gets credit.
Yep.
So they have all kinds of things to go around so that people can use more and more music.
Yeah, we still always credit our whoever, even if it doesn't say that you have to credit them. We always put their music, the artist, in the
Their
song.
name?
Yeah, we always say that,
course.
just as a courtesy.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of music. If the owner of the music say go let anybody use it, then everybody's happy.
Yeah.
He's happy because he gets exposure, and you're happy because you can use it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some music, though, are expensive to get. Is that
yeah.
true?
Oh, yeah. God, yeah. I don't know. I think a friend of mine was trying to use a couple of popular songs, and they said if for like
You gotta pay.
even for like 10 or 30, it was something. There's
Very
increments. You can buy
expensive.
increments like 30 seconds, a minute, or whatever, up to the whole song. And I think
Yeah.
even he wanted to use like 30 seconds, and
Yeah.
this popular artist was $10,000 for 30 seconds to use it.
Oh no,
Yeah, of course he didn't use it, but
it's too expensive.
yeah, it's crazy. But it was somebody famous like Lady Gaga or
Oh,
something
those
like
famous
that.
people, they have
Yeah.
agents that negotiate.
Yeah, it was some big
Unless
artists
you
like
know
that.
the
Yeah.
artist.
I was working on where that documentary I was working on. They were really good friends of the Doobie Brothers, and we were actually, my friend and I at that time, we were actually going to do a project with the Doobie Brothers. So we got to know them quite well.
Really?
And they actually let us use some of their music in,
Awesome.
in one of my short films. So that was nice.
Oh, they let you use it?
Mhm.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So that gave you a nice piece then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It helped. It helped.
And anything you produce, do you get, if it becomes really, really, really shown all over, many times you get a cut?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how the breakdown works. I mean, from my understanding, in Hollywood, there's something called points,
Yeah.
and you get points. But I
Depending
don't-
how many times they play the commercial.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm not sure. Our company is not quite. We're just kind of getting, three of us just kind of getting this company together. So
Okay.
right now we just have our
Together. It's all together.
percentages. Yeah, whatever comes in, it gets split up in a certain way.
Oh, so you're kind of a partner in the company.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good than to be an
Yeah.
employee.
Yeah, I came on. I was helping him on because I had another job, and I was just kind of helping him on the weekends and doing things we needed
And you
help here
became a
there.
partner.
Yeah, and then he decided one of these days, I really want to upgrade the company, buy better equipment, and I know you know what you're kind of doing, and I really could use some help. I said, sure, I'll come on. So I invested in the company, and
And you
became a
advise
partner.
them on the equipment? Oh.
Some of it. I mean, he's more of the like the
Producer.
camera, the producer and the cameras and all that stuff, and I'm more of the post production stuff. So I deal more with the software end.
So because you're a partner, you can also bring in a business to the company.
Yeah,
If you meet a company and they need your services, then because it's also your company, you can bring it in.
Yeah, it helps me because they're much more established. I mean, I did have my own little company, which
Yeah.
I never really did much with. So it's
Yeah.
kind of nice to get in with somebody who has much more,
Hands-on on the production.
Yeah, hands on the production. They have better equipment, and they have word of mouth that I didn't really have before. So it's nice to get in with them.
Yeah, they say some people think they can do it all by themselves, and that's a mistake because the more people you hire, the bigger your company and the better your company becomes.
Yeah, the more work you can put out and produce. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can have a business development person. All he does all day is bring you work.
Yeah.
And then you have someone in charge just of a specific area of the company, and that makes it even better, expanded, because you have someone focusing on that part of the company.
Yeah.
So the more people you hire, the better it is for the company, and they can come in as partners, and like you.
Yeah, that's our goal. We're just kind of just like the three of us right now, but we have a core group of people that we kind of, I guess you would say, contract with.
Okay.
We have a sound person that we use a lot. We have a camera
Really?
guy that we use a lot, but they're not really hired. I mean, they're not part of
They're not
our-
full-time, yeah.
Yeah, they're not full time for us. I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't quite gotten there, but we utilize them as much as we can until we can get our own in house. It's a little far away.
So does Crux Jinx has a studio like this?
No, we're actually in transition right now. Where one of our partners is in Italy, and the director, we're kind of moving around right now. We all had to kind of go our own way for just a minute to get things settled and finance and everything. So we're actually looking for a place.
You're looking for a studio.
Yeah, we're trying to get a studio together. We've been looking. We had a place in Alameda we're trying to check out, and a place here in San Francisco. We have some friends in the community here, but nothing's really come up yet.
It
So
would be great to look at different style of videos of studio nowadays,
Yeah.
and see which one would fit better your vision of what the studio should be like.
yeah, there's a lot of options out there. We just haven't really found one that worked for us yet.
Yeah, because a lot of people say, I mean, I've been thinking, why do I need to come to a studio when I can just produce just in a regular room, because nowadays you can, just put the switcher or you can have someone do the switching, but you don't have to come physically to a studio anymore,
Right, yeah.
like in the old days.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's the right recipe or the right combination of coming to a studio or producing on location.
Yeah.
But when you watch a show, just because I saw a show where the guy has a show very successful and he does it in a restaurant. So he's having lunch with someone and then he's interviewing someone. Did you see that show?
I think I've seen a show like that.
Yeah, and he was interviewing Andrew Yang, the candidate
Yeah.
for president. And I said, that's a great idea to do it in a restaurant.
It's true. That's true.
Because
the
it
lighting's
makes,
good.
it makes it more comfortable
Yeah.
for the person being interviewed because they're eating and they're drinking and makes them happy.
That's true. That's very
Like
true.
if I served you now a nice drink, and
Absolutely,
it will
yeah.
make it like more friendly of a conversation.
Sure.
Yeah, so there are different shows that are very popular, produced on location, and that's the format of their show, to be on location.
Yeah, God, it saves a lot of money as opposed
That
to
too.
setting up a whole set, hiring an art director and all that.
Yeah. So, but although you do have to have a camera person or two and someone who switch between, or
Yeah.
maybe just a large angle on both of the people, one interviewed and one doing the interviewing. But it looks great. I found that very friendly, very attractive as a setting.
Yeah, yes.
I don't know. You can look it up online. I forgot the name of the host, but if you'll find it. If
Yeah.
you look at Andrew Yang, you'll see it.
Andrea, okay, I'll look into that. For
Yeah.
sure,
And
for
by
sure.
the way, he's coming to San Francisco tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yeah, he'll be at Civic Center 4 to 6, and they'll have a rally for him, and it will be open starting at 3.
Well, that's good to know. Traffic's going to be
Heavy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the whole Civic Center will be full, huh?
Yeah.
But I'll try to go there early so I can videotape him. It should be a good production, I think. Yeah. I don't know if you like him, but I like his
do.
ideas.
Yeah.
He's good. He's young and refreshing. Not to go into politics.
Sure,
Let's
sure.
go back into you. Let's go back into you. I know everybody tells you don't discuss politics on your show because you want to be neutral and happy with all parties. So I said, okay, I'll take your advice. As a matter of fact, I met that guy today. He said, always stay neutral when you do your show. So I don't know if I'll cut that part. But anyway, to go back to being an editor, does it take really 8 hours a day to edit a piece? Does it really take that long?
Well, I think I've heard that
Could take longer.
It could take a day to just do one page of dialogue.
One page?
One page of dialogue, yeah. I mean, it really depends on how deep I think more of the
Because you do the switching while you edit?
No, I think it's when you're working with the director like Scorsese and those guys, the big time directors. Some of their editors, they've spent the whole day working on just like a few scenes.
Wow, because they have to do the right switching.
They had to find like we were talking about multiple takes. Maybe like the actor said all of his lines correctly, but there's a kid in the background who threw a ball in the scene or something, and now they have to
remove
okay,
it.
yeah, to remove the ball. I figured, okay, or maybe we can
Reshoot.
maybe there was a different angle of this shot or something. So they
That
have
was
to look
much
through
better.
all this footage, and so just doing that, finding a different angle, something to, rectify that situation can take a lot of time.
Yeah, because I was watching something yesterday. They say the camera that's on the person talking will actually influence the outcome of the deduction of what people take, because the person being videotaped is actually in charge of the direction of the interview, of the outcome of a show. So whoever is on the camera, like camera 1, camera 2, is the one who's gonna kind of direct the outcome of the video.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because you're focusing on the talent or whoever's ever talking. Your eye is going to be focused on them. But if you and I are talking, then there's a shot of both of us. If I go like this, or I'm looking at something, people are going to, why is that guy distracted?
Oh, there's distraction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like my friends, is my friend. He's really bad about this. The travel show guy, he'll be interviewing somebody and then he will like look away or look at something else at the camera. Like,
and the editor doesn't like that.
no, I had to tell him, like, because if you don't look like you're interested, why should the person who's watching this be interested?
Yeah.
And so I had to tell him about that now and again.
So the camera person has to focus on the kind of outcome they want out of the video.
Well, I think the director is there. That's usually that director will
He will
tell the person,
tell the cameraman where to go.
Yeah.
So they want a certain deduction from the video, right? A certain outcome of the video.
Yeah, because people's emotions, if you say something and then maybe they don't want the person to react that way, you'd have to show a different shot. It'd show another person or the interviewer. If the interviewer says something and you're both on camera and this person reacts really weird to that, and,
you want to cut it.
You don't want that. Yeah, you got to stay on the interviewee.
Ah.
Or the interviewer, I should say.
Yeah, so that's what makes a good director from a medium director.
Yeah, you really got to pay a real lot of attention about what's going on.
People move.
People are interacting with each other. It could save you a lot of time.
Yeah. Also, you can manipulate an interview.
Sure.
Let's say there's something you don't want to show the audience.
Yeah.
You can decide after you do the shoot to cut it completely.
Exactly.
Because there's so much manipulation that you can do after it's shot, right?
Yeah, that's the benefit of having multiple cameras like this, because we just have one camera, which happened to... I wasn't there, but I was working on a feature film, and they had just a
large camera.
Yeah, it was just a shot of these three people, but it was like 5 or 6 minutes just watching these people talk, and I was telling the guy was like, it was the guy the movie had already been made. I'm just doing like a final edit on it.
Yeah.
But I was telling he wasn't the director, but he was kind of the executive producer. And I was telling him, I said, nobody's going to want to watch you guys talk for 5 minutes. This is not natural.
Yeah, so you cut it.
So, well, luckily, I couldn't because there was just one shot.
Wow.
But luckily, it was a very high power camera, so I was able to zoom into the scene and so I made it look like it was 3 different shots. Like
there's something happening.
Like something was happening, yeah. Luckily, I could do that. But on the old cameras with the regular HD camera, if you tried to do that, it would get pixelated very quickly. But luckily, the shot was high resolution, so I was able to go in and zoom in on that one person and make it look like it was another camera.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice little trick.
Nice. Did you ever use a GoPro for action movies?
I have not personally used it, but I have had to work with GoPro footage. And
yeah, you put it on you and you have your hands free.
Yeah. My friend, he puts on his motorcycle helmet and drives around for road shots.
I'm still not used to it because it's such a tiny little object.
Oh, God, it's tiny, yeah.
And I'm used to something a little bit bigger, that fits in my hand.
Lens you can hold on to.
Yeah, so... But it takes huge wide angle. I mean, I couldn't believe it could do that.
Yeah.
It could take super wide angle and almost 360 degrees, and I was, oh my God, this camera is powerful. It's cost nothing, like 125.
Yeah.
And people are using it. And the guy who had the vision of it, I heard, became a billionaire. I don't know if you heard the story.
No, but I'm sure he did. It was
he doesn't know anything about engineering or designing cameras. He just came with the idea. He heard, he got the investor, and he did it.
Nice.
Young kid, like 25. Anyway, there's all kinds of success stories out there. Maybe you're gonna invent a way of editing that's revolutionary.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. So you work out of Oakland?
San Francisco right now.
Oh, you are right in the Mecca. I mean,
yeah.
The main city.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a small community. It's a kind of a tight community.
Everybody know everybody?
A lot of people know each other, and that's good and bad because when any work comes in, it's kind of, pretty much snatched up quickly. You got to be the first person to hear about it and get it.
Oh.
So.
Do producers from LA sometimes take a look at what's happening here in the city?
I don't know that there's enough going on to really pique their interest so much. I mean, the movies have been shot here, like the Ant-Man
And there used to be the Lucas.
yeah, Lucas is still in the Presidio, I think.
They still produce stuff there?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a very guarded environment, like security everywhere.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like, I tried to get in, but you can't. I mean, you can go as far as the receptionist, that's it.
Yeah.
So it's really, really heavy security. But I don't know why, it's just movies,
Oh, they must have some technology in there that they don't want people to see.
Also, they don't want, if there's something, a new movie being taped, they don't want it to be out there before they give permission for the word to be out.
There's a lot of that in the industry, yeah. The non-disclosure agreement, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody working there cannot talk about anything that goes on, right?
Yeah, very tight over there.
Yeah. So since you have been in the business for 19 years, has the rates gone astronomically higher in 20 years?
I don't think so much. Most of the increases I've seen in people's, it's because some of the cameras that you need to be competitive
are expensive.
$60,000 cameras.
So you have to increase your rates.
Yeah, you got to increase your rates to pay for that camera. And a lot of people, what they do is they actually rent their equipment out to other people that can't afford that.
To share the cost.
Yeah, so they rent their camera out. If they're not working with their camera, it's sitting around doing nothing for a week. So they say, hey, you want to, I'll rent you my camera for $500, and that's $500 that they weren't making before. So.
But again, let's say there's a new camera comes on the market, like the new iPhone 11 comes out on the market. Even though it's available for you to rent it, you need some training to use it.
Yeah, you still have to have training. Yes,
Isn't that
absolutely.
a catch-22? Then they put an ad on the paper. We're looking for someone who knows how to use that camera. But it just came out. How would anybody know how to use it?
Right, unless you're at the factory and you were helping making it. Yeah.
Yeah, so isn't that a catch-22?
Yeah, it certainly is.
Nobody can do that job. Nobody can have experience with it because it just came out.
Just came out, yeah, absolutely.
So there should be something that said, we'll train you on that new camera.
Yeah.
Rather than come to us with experience on that camera.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
I've seen that. I've said, oh, this just came out. They want me to have experience on it. That's like any job, right?
Yeah.
You need experience, but we won't hire you because you don't have experience. And then when you have experience, I mean, there's a catch-22 there.
Absolutely. My job I was at a while ago, I already had the job, but they wanted to hire a new person. I was looking at the job description, and I was like, what? Like, they want all this. They want the person to be a electrician.
Yeah.
I'm just in the media department. I mean, an electrician. They want somebody to what they want to do. Is
Oh,
they
for
want
the
somebody to be
lighting.
able to wire.
The lighting.
It's like, well, anybody who has an electrician degree is probably in a union making a lot of money. They're not going to come here for that. So I don't even know why you're just hoping, throwing things out there, hoping for the best. Somebody will.
We'll say, yes, I have a degree in both.
Yeah, my God, no way would I go there for that.
No, I remember in the large studio, I mean, we would learn lighting, but we didn't have a degree in electricity. We would just play with the lights, and then the director would tell us, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so it was like a trial and error kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always been like that. I mean, unless you do this all day, it's always been like, let's try something different, right? And the more you do it, the more you can pick it up,
Yeah.
Something like that.
Quicker. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have done it for 19 years, you must be very fast.
When I finally am able to take time to learn the program a little more in depth, yes, I do get faster at it for sure. There are a lot of keyboard shortcuts
That you know by heart.
that I know by heart now. Yes, so people are sometimes that don't really know much about it, and they see me clicking all these things like,
They say, "Oh my God, you're amazing."
How'd you do that? It's like, it's okay.
You get the hang of it.
Yeah.
So that's good. That adds to your value because you're a faster editor.
Yes, and time is money, So.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. So you're a more valuable asset of the
Yes.
company. So that's awesome. So you like your job. You know, after, because of the variety of project you work on.
Yeah,
Because
it is.
the job itself, the technical part is the same, but the different projects make it more interesting.
Yeah, I'm a visual learner, so I really enjoy watching the visuals, as opposed to being the sound. Like I've watched our sound person work, and he's just looking at these wave files. There's really nothing to look at. He's just editing the files and manipulating them, little waves.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's interesting, I guess, if you really.
In the visual part.
Yeah, the visual part, there's no visual really. I mean, he's just doing these little sound wave adjustments, and with me, I'm looking at pictures and I'm seeing.
That's the sound guy you're talking about?
Yeah, the sound guy. His program's called Pro Tools.
I see.
And it's just big. These big tracks of these sound waves.
I see.
That's all, and he's just.
And he's an
watching the
expert
sound
in
waves.
that?
Yeah, he's an expert in that. But so me, I get to look at pictures, and when I need sound, I give it to him. But I put all the pictures together.
Oh,
so.
he adjusts the sound.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Just like Jovan did earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it moves on the keyboard there. We used to have a huge one at the other thing where, like you said, the thing
Oh,
would go up
God,
and down, and
yeah.
someone was constantly monitoring
Yeah, the big soundboards. Yeah.
the soundboards. They used to be huge, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Now they're so simple.
Yeah.
Everything is simple nowadays. I don't know. They wanna cut out, like you said, more input from a human.
Yeah,
It's-
the more they can get it onto one. We at my old place I used to work at, they would have they had, I can't remember what it was called, but basically it was a box
Yeah.
that transmitted a live signal from the camera. So you'd have your receiver or your transmitter on the cameras, and the other person would sit there on an iPad and just it had everything. It had the volume. They would just sit there and just. You
Then
basically,
program it.
yeah, they would just say, okay, well, I know this guy's up here and that guy's where I can see what his camera's doing. So yeah, they would just sit there on his iPad. None of this, just the iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting it done.
Oh wow! There was a software in there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
That
amazing.
whatever that little box was, they would receive the picture from the cameras and then send it back to the iPad. So you basically had the 4 monitors on your iPad, and you could just switch between the monitors, and it would just record the whole thing the whole time.
Oh, I need
crazy.
to know the name of
I
that
think it's
software.
Slingbox. That was it.
It's called Slingbox.
Slingbox is this actual unit, and then it comes with the software fits on your iPad. Yeah.
I should look into that if I'm on the field,
Mhm.
because I don't need to carry that, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, it's called Slingbox.
Slingbox. Yep. Slingbox.
That should be a good tool.
Yeah.
No, I remember like a long time ago they would bring like a color adjuster, what I don't know what they call it, and they would
yeah.
bring another monitor, but there was a lot of equipment.
Yes.
A lot of equipment, and I don't know if they still use those anymore, but it's totally probably outdated now.
Yeah.
You remember when we used to do color balance and all that?
Oh yeah.
Now it's done automatically, right?
Yeah. Yeah. These cameras with the white balance and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember?
You used to have to have the card
the
with
what?
all the things on it,
Yeah.
all the different colors. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do the white balances. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're progressing. Everything is progressing. I
Yes.
hope you like when you're gonna see this again. I hope you like the way I switch.
Absolutely. I remember having to do that. That's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I don't 100%. I am not 100% conscious
Yeah.
of the flow of the interview, but when I feel it's appropriate to switch, then I do switch.
Yep.
So it's like a feeling
Yeah.
while still keeping focused on the interview.
That's kind of how editing is. You kind of have to have a feeling about how long to stay on the scene.
Yeah.
How long do I want to watch these people talking? Should I cut to some action now, or how can I break this up?
If it
or-
becomes too boring, let's switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you probably, I can guess, you probably, since you have been editing for a long time, that now you have the skill of a director. Because you editing the work of a director. So you probably, without knowing that you're probably ready to be a director.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I can kind of see that. I have seen so many scenes of people acting and having to cut them together, and had to watch their emotions or anything. Yeah, I guess in a way, yeah, I guess I
You
could.
could direct camera
I
people.
probably could. Yeah.
Yeah. So I look forward maybe to see something that you would produce 100% yourself,
Well, I
being
will-
the director and the editor.
Yeah.
That would be
Well,
fun.
I will plan to do that.
Yeah, I look forward to see it. And I assume you have your own website or your own YouTube.
No, pretty much just on Crux Jinx right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a few things on YouTube that I have, but I'll send you a link to that sometime. I have a
Okay.
few things on there.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's long length, they usually put it on Vimeo or whatever. But
Yeah, no, all my stuff fit on YouTube.
yeah,
But yeah, I've really mostly done things for other people. I've not really done a lot of my own projects.
yeah,
You know, I just have a few that I've done my own.
yeah. It's something that comes from within.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're ready, you'll do it.
Yeah,
It comes from in here.
exactly.
It's nobody's gonna tell you to do it or not to do it. It's you. It's like when you want to become a producer, there's like you wake up one morning and say, "I am a producer." now." It's like you don't need any validation from anyone.
Right.
You agree?
Yes.
So anyway, it has been such a pleasure to interview you. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Almost an hour talking to you.
Well, thank you.
Do
It's been a
believe
pleasure.
that?
It's been a pleasure.
Do you believe that
Yeah.
we've been together an hour?
That means we're having a good conversation.
Yeah, I didn't see the time pass. I mean, it's been so pleasant to talk to you. So thank you so much. I enjoy meeting you. You're a very good person to interview.
Thank you for having me.
And I look forward to air it and send it to you. I really appreciate your presence here today.
Thank you.
you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.